This is part 2 of making my mom's ao dai before that, and today we're going to be dyeing this really pretty lace that I got from Solstice. This is Asian Tilly lace from France, and because it was such a special lace, I was low-key really nervous to start dyeing it. I do not want this lace to go to waste. So first off, we're going to do a swatch test. This was the color that I wanted to end up with, and I thought it was going to be super easy since Rit Dye online already had a formula all set up. So I followed the formula exactly to a T, but it turned out to be way too pigmented. For my first swatch, I literally only left it in for 30 seconds, and this is the color that turned out. It was way too red and bright, and so went back and took out a bunch of the red dye. And this time I also added a little bit of blue and green so it would be more purple and muted. Also, if you're wondering why I tie my swatches to this weird piece of fabric, it's because the pot is so big and I don't want to lose my swatch, and so this was just an easy way to keep track of where my swatch was. But anyways, take a look at how dark it is right now, and then take a look at how it turned out when it was dry. It's such a crazy difference how a lace will look when it's dipped in the water versus when it's dry. So these were all the swatches that I ended up doing. The first one was too bright. The second one was the one I ended up with. These two swatches right here are the same, just dry versus wet. It's honestly quite deceiving how the color looks when it's wet because it's so vibrant. And especially as an overthinker and someone who wants to get this perfect, I knew I had to just start on the actual lace. So I soaked up my entire lace, and this is exactly when my anxiety started hitting. And I did not film that many clips because I did not want the dye to be too vibrant. So I just tossed it in, and usually I'll have my pot of dye on a heater, like a boiler, but this lace soaked it up so well that I didn't even need to do that. So now that my lace was dyed, it was time for me to just not freak out about how red it looks and let the fabric dry. But of course, halfway through drying it, I had to take it out just to check that it was in fact getting lighter, and thank God it got lighter. So back in it went in the dryer, and this ended up being the final color in a warmish lighting at nighttime. But just wait for the second clip because this was how it looked in all natural lighting in daytime, which I was so happy about. And now it is officially time to start cutting and sewing my mom's ao dai. So come follow along to see me do the next and final steps.